Hello, friends! Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to those of you who celebrate. It is not the New Year yet. We haven't hit the January 31st. New Year's Eve, we haven't hit January 1st yet. It is a few days after Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa to those of you who celebrate. Um, I just wanted to come in here and not leave so much time in between leaving my next video. We're still going over Single is Your Superpower, and I'm right before chapter 2, and I wanted to come in and talk about being a good catch. A lot of times we sit down and we think about what it is that we want in relationships, and sometimes I know I mentioned this in another video, we kind of want things that we are not. Sometimes we may say, for instance, I want somebody that's physically fit. Their body has to be like that. They have to be in the gym. They have to be this. They have to be that. Da 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 da. But yet, we don't fit into that category ourselves. And so we have to think about it like, well, what would that person want with us? Like, how can we fit into their lives? Like, when they're off at the gym, are we going to be upset and we're going to be telling them they're spending too much time in the gym? And just little things like that, which can really bring problems into a relationship when you kind of don't match. You know, you kind of expect that somebody who is physically fit and spends a lot of time in the gym wants to be with somebody that fits into that category. Now we know there are exceptions to every rule, so we know that that's not always the case. But in general, we like to think about if you want someone that makes, let's just say, I'm just giving a number, $100,000 a year, then you should pretty much be close to that, because then you will be hanging out in the same circles, and things just won't be so hella awkward. Now, when we're thinking about ourselves being good enough for somebody else, though, one of the things that really struck me when I got to this portion of this workbook, I told you this book is like, it's a reading book and it's also a workbook. When I got to this portion of this book, it really struck me because, sometimes we forget to remember and to think about and or to acknowledge our own self-worth. We start thinking about how we are worthy for somebody else, but we don't think about how much of a catch that we really are. And when you really know that you the shiz and you really know how much of a catch you are, it makes you more confident, and it's easier for you to walk away from the bullcrap. You don't feel like I have to be subjected to this, or I have to put up with this, I have to settle for this, I have to take this because I'm not going to get anybody else, nobody else is going to want me. A lot of times we don't know what our worth is. So in this book, right before chapter 2, it says, I am a catch because, and it gives you like a lot of space to fill out why you're a catch. And I looked at this page for a long time because I had this thing within me that stemmed somewhere from my childhood that said that I don't want anybody, basically people pleasing. Since I don't want anybody to dislike me, I don't want my light to shine so bright that other people are intimidated, basically. I don't want people to think that I'm all of that. I don't want people to think that I think that I'm better than them. And so around a certain crowd of people, I would kind of tone it down, like speak differently, act differently, do the things that are common to what they do so that they don't feel like I'm so different and different in a better way. Um, some of you will know what I mean by that. I'm not going to go into too much detail. But some of the things that I wrote here, and I filled this out 3/6/2021, some of the things that I wrote down here, I went back and I looked over and I actually put an asterisk next to them because I thought they were very important. I thought they were really things that I would never really think of as a quality that a person would say in myself, because I've obviously, in thinking about what I want in somebody else, in thinking about a relationship that's going to last long term, that's going to work, it's something that I would want, but you kind of never really verbalize it. So the first thing that I thought to write down here for myself is that I'm responsible. Now, granted, I have my little procrastination phases, and there are some little things that I do that I'm working out in therapy and stuff. And because we all need therapy. Let's don't get it twisted. But anyway, it's a lot of things that I could do better. But let's just face it, I'm a responsible person. I am a person that people can depend on, that people have depended on for years. I can be dependent on with secrets. I can be dependent on if I say I'm going to do something for you, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to pay you back something that I owe you, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to loan you something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to do it. I'm not a person who feels like I'm going to back out of this. I said I was going to take you somewhere, but then after a while I don't feel like it and I'm not going to do it. You know how many times I've gone to amusement parks, and I hate amusement parks because I don't like the adrenaline. I don't like adrenaline rushes. And I've gone because I said to somebody that I was going to go with them and be better company. Now, to some extent, I've learned to say, listen, I don't like amusement parks. And that's a thing that I had to come to terms with too. It's like, and it's a form of people pleasing, where you kind of just do things to make other people happy, and you're not really considering what's making you happy, and you're doing these things even though they make you unhappy, just because you want to please other people. I've learned that there is a balance, that there can be a balance where there's a time when you need to speak up and say, listen, I don't want to do this, I don't like this, and be respectful about it so that other people know what it is that you're feeling, because you can be going to these amusement parks like I am, and people don't have an idea, they have no idea at all that you don't like them, because you go there and you play the role, you go through the motions as if you do, right? So it's not like they're being insensitive, it's that you're not sticking up for yourself, you're not standing up for yourself, you're not acknowledging that this is something that makes you unhappy or something that you don't like. But going back to being responsible, I'm just saying that even though that's how I dealt with things, if I said I was going to do it, I'm going to do it. So a lot of people confide in me, people that I don't even know, they just know there's something about me that they know that they can confide in me for certain things. They know that I'm dependable if they need something. Certain people that I, have that relationship with, they know that I'm dependable. They know that if, you give me something to hold on to, it's not going to disappear. If you left your iPhone someplace, and there was an incident where I was, when I went back for my master's degree, there was a group of us that hung together because we were in the same cohort of the program that I was in. So we were in the same section. So we kind of wanted to stick together because it was like a really, really tough program and really scary. And a lot of people were not making it through and being cut. And so those of us who made it down to the end, we really stuck together. But there were little sections of the cohort, or cohorts of the cohort, let's just say. And again, a lot of the people were really younger than I am. At the time, they were younger than I am. And they still are, but I'm just saying they were young. They're still younger, but they were young. And so, the younger people who were more like into the club and into the fast life, they kind of stuck together. And there was, I guess, myself, and maybe there were like 2 or 3 of us that were my age, like not my age, but I want to say older than the rest, because there was nobody really on my age level, although there were people older than me. So it was like a handful of us, not even. And we, were seasoned, I would say. So we had our lives going on. So we really didn't like hang out or anything like that afterwards. But anyway, one of the girls had a group of it was about 4 of them, and they were really close. They were so close that they hung out outside of the program. They called each other. They had each other's numbers. They hung out at the club, the bar, whatever. So they had a close enough relationship where you would say, like, if somebody left their cell phone or something, one of them would hold on to it because they had communication with each other outside of the program. So one of the girls goes into the bathroom and she's like, oh my God, let's just call her Jessie. Jessie left her iPhone. And you should have saw the 3 of them that were left there. They were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? You take it. I'm not going to take it. You take it. I'm not going to take it. And it was ridiculous to me to see how they were carrying on about not wanting to hold on to this girl's phone for her, knowing how people feel about their phones. And it was an iPhone. It was whatever it was at that time. It was up to date, so it was expensive. It wasn't like an older model. So they turned to me. So one of them turns to me. Right now, I'm telling you, these people don't know me. Like, we didn't hang out outside. They just knew me from the program. They turned to me and they said, "Would you hold her phone?" Because they knew that I'm responsible. And there was really no way for me to get in touch with her. And I said, well, I think it would have been 2 or 3 days that I would have to wait to have seen this girl. I forgot the fake name that I gave her. Jessie, I think it was. And so I said, okay. And I held Jesse's phone. So it turns out that somebody that Jesse knew wound up calling the phone. And I picked up the phone. And to make a long story short, I wound up setting up, we were going to meet. And then even Jesse had some trust in me and knew that I was responsible because she had something to do that night and she opted. She asked me, can I hold it? And she'll go and do what she had to do, and then she'll pick it up the next day. So it wasn't even like, oh, I gotta pick my phone, I don't trust her. Like, they knew that I was responsible just by me being me. And I think that's a hell of a good quality that these basically strangers knew that that's something that I have. So yes, I I never thought that that was something to like look at, like, oh, like, well, what do you bring to the table? I'm responsible. But yes, I'm responsible. And that is a hell of a good quality because I damn sure want somebody that's responsible. So if you're responsible, click, 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 click. Know that when somebody asks, what do I bring to the table? I'm responsible. Another thing that I put down here that I didn't think was a big deal and I didn't see it as a quality, like something like, well, why am I a catch? What things make me a catch, right? What is one strong quality that I have that I should be happy about, that I should be not cocky about, but there are some people that are really cocky because they're like, I know that women want me because I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, and women same way, vice versa. But another thing that I think is actually a hell of a good quality that I have is that I'm strong-willed. I think it is very good to be strong-willed to an extent because I don't, for me, looking at a mate, right? I don't want somebody that I have to worry about every time there's another pretty girl around him, or anytime I'm not home and he has to be in a situation where he's meeting a bunch of pretty girls and, you know, they're attracted to him and they're throwing their sex at him. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm with a person who's going to give me the cop out and be like, well, I'm a man, what am I supposed to do? I was there, you weren't here, and they were giving it to me, and what am I supposed to do? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I get it. I understand. I understand it totally because the situation can happen vice versa. But I need a person who's just like I am, and I am strong willed. Whereas I can sit there and say, no, I'm not going to do it. You know how many times I've gone out and people have made fun of me? Even my friends have like snickered or whatever, and I've gone out and everybody's drinking, everybody around me is drinking, everybody around me is smoking hookah, they're smoking weed and stuff. Now, I don't smoke. I don't smoke hookah and I don't smoke weed, but and of course that peer pressure to smoke anything has been around forever because as we all know, I'm in my 40s now and I've never succumbed to that temptation. My will has been strong enough not to uh, try to be cool by following what everybody else who was cool was doing. And, you know, a lot of times I went out and I'm like, well, I'm not going to drink. And they're like, oh, you're not going to drink? And I'm like, no, although I do drink wine on occasion. I do, well, I drink wine in coolers. I don't like drink anything heavy. But even that is something that I would go out and I would choose not to drink. And a lot of times I would want to drink, like, okay, let me get a pina colada or let me get something. But I felt like I didn't feel like, or I know that I know what my tolerance is, and it's not heavy because I'm not a drinker. And so it's like, well, I know that I have to drive, and I'm not going to drink. And that's something that I can be dependent upon for. Like, I know what my level is, I know my tolerance level, I know how far my body can take it, and I'm strong-willed. So you need to be able to be in some situations and get out of those situations without saying I was too weak because I'm a man or because I'm a woman. That's not cool for me. I mean, if you like that, more power to you. But and I'll just go to another one where I thought that I didn't really think this. It's a few of them that I have here, but I want to just point out one more. Patient that I put here. I put that I'm very patient. Now, that saying that I'm patient it doesn't mean that I won't chew you out. It doesn't mean that I don't get angry. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that for me, patience means I'm not just gonna throw it all away because within reason things are not going well, right? I can sit down and talk. I can, and sometimes I used to think this was a fault. I used to think that I was patient to a fault because I would stick around. Like I said in previous videos, I would stick around in situations that just way too long, just putting up with things with entirely too long because of the fact that I was so patient in that area of life, just feeling like, you know, this could be me, I could be doing this, just kind of giving the person the benefit of the doubt, and just kind of feeling like I could have been in this situation, or, what if this happened to me? I would want the same, you know, consideration. Um, but I think that patience could be a good thing when there's a balance. Again, when you know what your boundaries are and you stick to your boundaries, and you're open to being a good listener, and you're open to expressing what your true wants and needs are, and just in feeling like the person is on the same page, and then recognizing that actions speak louder than words, and not just saying, I want this and I want this now, even if you want this and you want this now, but just looking to see if the actions are aligned with any of the words that the person may be telling you, to give you, that may be giving you hope that the relationship is moving forward, and is moving forward in the right direction, or the direction that you want it in. That sometimes you can say, okay, you can understand, and keep the understanding in mind that people are going to fail you, because we're all human, and all humans are going to fail you, because no one is perfect. And when I say fail you, I don't mean cheating and hitting you and like devastating failures like that, but just with the patience of knowing that the person is on the right track, they're doing the right thing, but they're always going to do something to screw up, you know, that type of patience. So, meaning that I am not a person that gives up really easily. Like, okay, you know what? You wore the wrong color. I just can't do that. So I think that actually is a very good quality to have, and it is something that makes me a good catch. So the three things that I put down, which I thought about for myself, that I want to pat myself on the back for, and it's that I listed in this area, is I am a catch because I am a catch because I am responsible. I am a catch because I am strong-willed, and I am a catch because I am dedicated. Now, some people might think I'm a catch because I cook well. No, I wouldn't put anything like that down, because it's superficial to me. So what are some of the things that, and that's just my opinion, what are some of the things that you think make you a good catch? I mean, really sit down and think about nothing superficial, like I'm good in bed or nothing like that, but over time, when a relationship's not new anymore, when there are no more sparkles and fireworks going on, what will make you, or what do you have, what's going on with you that makes you a keeper, that makes you a good catch? Think about that. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, keep the conversation going. Thank you for listening. Thank you for humoring me. Grab the book. I don't know why I'm saying that, because I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not sponsored or anywhere, but I'm just saying that this is a book that helped me, and I'm sure there are a lot of other books out there that you can grab, but it's a really interesting workbook that really helped me to think some things through. And have I arrived? No, but I'm sharing the information that I acquired from working on myself with the prompts from this workbook, and just letting you know that it's a good book to grab. Love, peace, and hair grease, and enjoy your holidays.